first thing that you see?
Like a mind.
Describe the mind. Look around it. What's in the mind? What colors do you see?
Dark.
Okay. Is it a big mind or a small mind?
Medium.
Medium. Is it a big cavern? Is there a cavern? What else do you see inside the mind? Stepping stones?
Bottle.
Describe what that looks like. Can you hear anything?
Red.
Red? What's red?
Lava.
Lava? What emotions do you sense? Look below you. Do you have any feet? Just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't analyze it.
Boots.
You see boots? What color are the boots?
Brown.
Brown? Do you have a body?
2 legs.
Do you feel male or female?
No.
Do you feel young or old? To say the first thing that comes.
Neither.
Neither. Does your body feel healthy?
Yes.
Okay. Are you carrying anything in your hands?
Pickaxe.
A pickaxe? And what are you wearing on your body besides boots?
Canvas jacket.
Okay. And are you wearing anything on your head?
Steel helmet with a light.
Okay. And are you wearing any kind of jewelry or anything on your wrists or your neck?
No.
Okay. Let's walk further into this mind. Is there anybody else around you in this mind?
Just
you. And what do you do with that pick in your hand?
Just holding it.
Okay. So let's walk further into the mind. What do you see as you walk further into the mind?
Pathway.
Describe the pathway.
Rock. Worn down.
How is it worn down?
It's been used a lot.
By who?
Me.
And what do you do with the rock?
Don't know.
Okay. Is there anything else in the mind besides rocks and lava?
Got a train.
It's a train.
Bucket.
Okay. Is it a lot of buckets on the train?
Just one.
Just one. And what gets put in the train bucket?
Rock.
The rocks. And what do they do with the rocks?
Take them up to the top.
Take them to the top. So you use the pick to chisel away the rocks and fill the train?
Yes.
Do you ever go up to the top with the train?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get on that train and let's head up to the top. Describe what you're seeing as you go there.
Lanterns on the wall.
Okay. And then what else?
White light.
White light. Okay. So you're getting out of the cave now?
Yeah.
Okay. And describe what you see as you look out of the cave.
Jungle.
A jungle? What kind of trees do you see?
Dark green, tall.
Being tall. And what color, as you look at your body and coming out of this cave, what color hair do you have?
Don't see my face.
Can you see your face? Can you look at your arm? What skin color do you have?
Tan.
Tan. Okay. And we're going to get out of this train now. Let's go to where you live. Can you describe what you see along the way to go into where you live?
A pathway.
Okay. What does the pathway look like?
It's been used a lot.
Okay. Is it close by the mine?
Yes.
Okay. And what else do you see along the way to your home?
Lake. Pond.
A big pond. And do you see anybody else around?
Faint figures in the distance.
Okay. Go ahead and walk towards your home. What does your home look like?
Primitive.
Describe it.
Little hut.
Okay. Made out of what?
Old lumber.
Okay, remember? And go inside the home. What do you see inside the home?
Fireplace.
The fireplace? Is there a fire going on?
Yes.
Anything else inside there? Do you have
A bed.
a bed? Anything else that you see?
Coffee mug.
And let's get something to eat. Is it
Meat.
meat? Okay, what are you eating?
Steak.
Steak? And how did you cook it?
On a fireplace.
In the fireplace? Is there anybody else live there with you?
No.
No. So what do you do most of the time? Do you just mine?
Read.
You do what?
Read.
You read? What do you read?
Pamphlets.
What does the pamphlet say?
Something about mining.
It's about mining? And what do you try to do with the mines? How do you get paid? Do you sell the rocks?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's leave that scene and let's move forward to an important day. A day that you consider to be important when something's happening. We've now moved forward to an important day. What is happening? What do you see? The first thing.
My son being born.
Describe what your son looks like.
Wet.
Right? And what's happening on this day?
In the emergency room. He's been held up and they're checking his vitals.
What happens?
I gotta hold him.
And how do you feel?
Happy.
Happy? And who else is there at the hospital with you?
Daniel.
Danielle? And how do you feel about her? What's the first thing you feel?
I feel sad.
Why do you feel sadness? Say the first thing that comes to your
It's
mind.
not a place she wanted to have a birth.
Where did she want to have a birth?
A home.
In a home? And why did you guys end up at the hospital?
Complications. Had to have an emergency C-section.
Okay. And what do you say to her?
I'm here for
Okay.
that our son's been born.
Let's leave that scene and move forward to an important day. A day that you consider to be important when something is happening. What's the first thing you see?
Like an event.
Describe the event. What are the things that you see in the event?
It's like a trade show.
Okay, and what does the trade show look like?
Lots of people.
Okay, and what are they trading?
Seeds.
What kind of seeds?
High times of that.
What kind of seeds are they?
Cannabis.
Cannabis seeds. And what are you doing?
Working the trade show booth.
Working the trade show booth. And describe what you say to people.
Trying to help them pick strains that will work for their ailment.
Okay. And is there anybody else that works in the booth with you?
I see Blake.
And what are you guys doing?
He's talking with a customer, and I'm just working to see, helping the people sell their seeds.
Okay. And do you guys have a successful day at this trade show?
Yes.
And what is successful?
Almost sold out.
Almost sold out. Do you guys make a lot of contracts, or how do you sell out? What are you selling? Just the seeds?
Mm-hmm.
So you're selling the seeds, and who do you sell them to?
Just people.
Just regular people?
Yeah, regular people.
Okay. And then what happens after the trade show's over?
Go back to the hotel.
You like the hotel? And what happens next?
Some shady people come.
Describe the shady
What?
people.
Bad vibration.
Okay. And what do they do?
They're friends with one of the guys on the team. They're trying to move some bad oil.
And where are they moving it to?
Just trying to sell it.
Trying to sell it to who?
I don't know.
Are you involved in the sale?
No.
Okay. And then what do you see? How do these people...
Outside talking with my friend on the deck.
Okay. And how do these people become part of the business?
They weren't. They were friends and customer.
Okay.
One of the other guys.
Is one of the other guys your boss?
Not the one that these guys know. No.
Okay. And does the boss know about this business deal?
I don't know. Yes.
Yes. So he approves of it?
Doesn't care.
Doesn't care? Okay. And then what happens today?
Talking with my friend on the deck about not being scared of smoking in public.
Okay. Is it legal to smoke in public here?
Yes, in California, it's
So it's
frowned
legal.
upon, legal, not legal. Yeah.
Okay. Let's leave that scene and let's move forward to another important day. A day that you consider to be important when something's happening. What's the first thing you see on this important day?
Nothing.
Nothing at all? Describe the colors that you see.
I'm at the lake with my boys.
Is it late? And what are the boys doing?
Ethan's learning to ride a
Okay. And what's happening as he's riding a bike?
working through his fears of getting hurt.
Okay. Does he overcome it?
Yes.
Okay. And what is your other son doing?
He's playing at the table with some other adults.
Okay. And what is he playing with?
Action figure.
Action figures. And who else is there at the lake with you?
Good friends.
Good friends? And what are they doing?
Fishing.
Fishing?
Cooking.
So it's
Playing cards.
kind of like a day barbecue.
Yeah.
Okay. With friends. And are these friends people that you work with?
Yes.
Okay, so they're friends and co-workers. And how is the business doing?
It's just, it is.
It is? Okay. Let's go forward to one more important day in this life. One that something big is happening to you. What do you see?
First thing, wedding day.
Wedding day? Okay. And what is that like?
Happy.
Okay. And how did the wedding go?
Small. Just us and our 2 friends.
Okay. And how did everything look?
Nice, but low budget.
Very nice. Is there anything else that you see going on?
After, people are happy.
We're happy. And you're happy? Okay. Let's go forward to the last day of your life in this lifetime that you're watching. What do you see and what is happening? You won't have any physical sensations. You could talk about it.
I'm not there yet.
Okay. So it's yet to be determined?
Correct.
Okay. Now what has happened has already happened and you're on the other side of it. You're on the other side of these experiences. And you can look back at these experiences. As you look at the different visions that you saw in this life, what did you learn from watching your son be born?
Teaching.
The teaching? What do you think was the purpose of seeing the trade show? And seeing the shady negotiations outside the hotel?
It's not a clean business.
How did it make you feel to be part of that?
Impartial.
Impartial? What do you think was the purpose of being part of that? Did you have a choice?
Not really.
Not really? Okay.
I guess I could have left the room.
Okay. So you didn't like it?
Of that instance, no.
Okay. And what do you think was the purpose of seeing the image about you and the boys and your friends at the lake? The first thing that comes to
Happiness.
happiness. So your boys bring you a lot of joy.
Yeah.
And as you look at your wedding day, what did you learn from that wedding day?
That I can love.
That you can love.
That I can be loved.
Now, we're going to move backwards to before this current lifetime that you were seeing and go back to the life where you were the minor and you lived in a log cabin by yourself. So we're moving backwards now and you're able to tell me more about it. You're there now. What do you see happen to this old man? The minor.
Lonely.
He's lonely? Did he ever find anybody else to live with?
No.
How did he die?
Old age.
Old age? And on the last day of his life, what was he doing?
Working.
He was working in the mine?
Mm-hmm.
And where did he die?
In the mine.
In the mine? Did anybody find him?
Unknown.
Unknown. Now whatever happened has already happened in that life as the miner. And you're on the other side of it. From that position, you can look back at the entire life and see it from a different perspective. Every life has a lesson and purpose. And as you look at the life as a lonely miner, what did you learn from it? First thing that you feel.
I need to be social.
You need to be social. What do you think was the purpose of living that life as a lonely miner man?
To feel solitude.
Feel solitude. Is there any other purpose that you learned from that life?
I can do it myself.
You do it by yourself. Okay. Now let's move away from that scene, leaving the person there to continue their own path. You can either move forward or backwards to find another appropriate time and place that has information that you need. You are now at another time and place. Tell me the first image you see.
Tying my shoe.
And what kind of shoe are you wearing?
Black high top basketball shoe.
Black high top shoe. Okay. And as you look at your feet, what else are you wearing on your body?
Short.
Short. And what are you wearing for your clothes?
It's like I'm playing basketball. So a jersey.
Okay. So are you male or female?
Male.
Male. Young or old?
Young.
Do you feel healthy?
Yes.
Are you carrying anything in your hand?
No.
Okay. You wearing any jewelry? Or watch?
Like one of those arm sweatbands.
Okay. Is there anything on your head?
One of those sweatbands.
Okay. And as you look around, describe what you see around you.
The gym, maybe.
You're in a gym. Can you hear anything going on?
People playing basketball, shooting.
Okay. And what sensations do you feel in your body?
Sweating.
Sweating. Is there anybody else around you?
Yes.
Who?
Other players.
Other players? And tell me more about what's happening between you and the other players.
I'm about to go in and play around.
Okay. And what happens at the end of the game?
I made the winning shot.
Winning shot? And how did you feel about that?
Good.
Okay. And now the game's over with. What happens after that?
Celebrating in the locker room.
Celebrating in the locker room? Okay. So now you're all dressed up and you're done celebrating in the locker room. What happens next? Let's
Right
go.
on the town.
You're in town? Okay. Let's go to where you live. Okay. So you're done celebrating around town and you're heading over to where you live. Tell me about what you see along the way to where you live.
Fancy. Big houses.
Okay. And as you keep going towards where you live, do you see your home?
Yes.
Okay. And describe what your home looks like.
Very modern. Lots of windows.
Okay. And as you go inside the home, what does it look like inside?
Very clean.
Is there anything else inside the home?
Furniture.
Okay. Let's go and get something to eat. What are you eating?
Grilled chicken.
Grilled chicken. And does anyone else live with you?
Yes.
Who lives with you?
Wife.
Your wife? And describe your wife.
Happy. Beautiful.
Okay. And what do you do most of the time?
Put people over to the house a lot.
You go over the house a lot? Do you play basketball a lot?
Yes.
Is that your job?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anybody else that lives in the house with you and your wife?
We have helpers.
You have helpers? And what do they do with the house?
Keep it clean.
They keep it clean?
Cook.
Good. Okay. Now let's leave that scene and move forward to an important day in this life. A day that you consider to be important when something is happening. We've now moved forward to an important day. What's happening with DC?
Signing some paperwork.
And what does the paperwork say? First thing that you see.
Deed and trust.
And what is it a deed for?
House. Property.
A house? Okay. And now that you've signed that paperwork, what is the house that you bought or sold?
It was the house that we bought that I saw minutes ago.
Okay. So you're selling it?
Purchasing it.
You're purchasing it. Okay. And then what happens?
We're having dinner on the floor.
You have a dinner on the floor? And what do you guys talk about?
Our goals, shared goals,
Okay.
dreams.
Let's leave that scene and move forward to another important day. A day that you consider to be important when something's happening. We have now moved forward to that day. What's happening? What do you see?
On a boat.
Describe the boat.
Big. Like a yacht. The deck.
Okay. And who is there with you?
Wife.
Your wife? And what are you guys, where are you going?
Don't know.
Okay. You just sailing?
We're having an argument.
What are you arguing about?
Where we're going with life.
And where are you going with your life?
Different directions.
And where is she going with her life?
She's not happy.
Why is she happy?
Because I'm always working.
As a basketball player?
Yeah.
What does she do with herself all day?
I don't know.
Okay. So she just stays at home most of the time?
She hangs out with her friends.
Yeah. But she doesn't have a whole career?
No.
Okay. Let's leave that scene and move forward to another important day. A day that you consider to be important when something is happening. We've now moved forward to that day. What's happening? What do you see?
Kids playing in a playground.
Okay. And describe the kids.
5, 6 maybe.
Okay. Are they all related to each other?
2 of them are.
And what about the other 3?
Not related.
Okay, so they're friends?
They're just other kids at the park.
Look each other apart. And as you look below you, do you have feet?
Yes.
Okay. And are those kids your kids?
2 of them.
2 of them are your kids? And is there anybody else around?
Just me.
Just you? And as you watch your kids play in the park with these other kids, what are you doing?
Watching my kids have fun.
Did you get the fun? Okay. And after the kids have fun, what do you guys do once you're done with the park?
Ice cream.
You get some ice cream? Okay. And your kids, what the gender are they?
Male and female.
Male and female? Okay. And after you get ice cream, do you guys go home?
Yeah, I put them to bed.
You put them to
Read
bed?
them a story.
Tell them the story. Do you live alone with the kids?
Yes.
You do? What happened to the mom?
She left.
She left? And why did she leave?
She wasn't happy.
She wasn't happy? Are you still playing pro basketball?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Let's move forward to another important day in his life, leaving this scene. We've now moved forward to another important day in his life. What's happening and what do you see?
My grandkids
Your grandkids? And how do you feel about your grandkids?
make me happy.
Makes you happy? And what else is going on?
Surrounded by family.
It's not a big family. And is there anything else that you see?
Playing with one of my grandbabies.
Like one of your grandbabies? And do you live alone? Where do you live? You live alone? Okay. Let's leave that scene and move forward to the very last day of your life in this life that we are watching. Whatever happened has already happened. And you will not have any physical sensations as you talk about it. You're on the other side of it. On your last day, what do you see?
In a hospital surrounded by my kids.
Okay. And what happened to you?
Heart issue.
Your heart issue? Okay. Did you have a heart attack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now what happened has already happened. And as you look back at your entire life in this life as a pro basketball player who raised 2 kids alone, what did you learn from it? What do you think was the purpose of seeing that life?
Feeling loved.
What else did you learn from the divorce?
Just not the end.
It's not the end. And what did you learn about seeing the grandkids? You raised two kids on your own.
That I did something right.
You did something right. Now, let's leave that scene, leaving the person there to continue their own path. Now let's drift away from that life. We're drifting and floating away from that life, leaving the man there to continue his own journey. He will find peace. He will find what he's supposed to find. We're leaving him there to continue his own journey. He will find peace, and he'll find what he's supposed to find. We're leaving him there to continue his own path. Now I want all of the consciousness and personality of Drew to once again return to the body and fully integrate into the body. May I speak to Drew's subconscious place?
Yes.
I have permission to speak to Drew's subconscious.
Yes.
I respect the powerful subconscious because I know the subconscious takes care of Drew's body and does a very good job of it. I also know the subconscious has the records of everything that has ever happened to John in this lifetime and all the other lifetimes that he has ever lived. So I respect the power of the subconscious, and I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do you have permission to ask you questions?
Yes.
I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes for John to see today. However, he chose to bring forward the lifetime where he was a lonely miner that died in the mines that he worked in. Why did you bring forth that life for him to see?
You can do it on its own.
Was it just to assure him that he has the confidence and abilities to be successful on his own?
That being alone isn't always lonely.
Okay. So that it's fine to not always pair up with somebody.
Yes.
Okay. You also chose to bring forward the current life, where he saw his son being born, his wedding day, and him at a trade show, where there was some business dealings that he didn't approve of. Why did you bring that life for him to see?
It wasn't bad dealings. It was about the friendships that performed around that event.
Okay. So it's about and what was the value of the friendships that are formed in these kind of events?
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. So his kindred friendships will be there for him in his hard times and in his good times?
Yes.
So sometimes these different exchanges, such as the trade shows and other things, will bring critical people in his life, and that's the value?
Yes.
Okay. Now you also chose to bring forward the lifetime where he was a pro basketball player, and him and his wife had 2 children. However, it was not enough for his wife, and she left him, and he became a single father. He did have grandkids, and he raised the children well as a single father. Why did you bring that lifetime for him to see?
Showing him that he can do it.
Okay.
He's done it already.
Okay.
To not be scared to work on his own.
Is there anything else about these lifetimes that he needs to take note of that he can use in his current life?
To slow down and enjoy the people around him.
He also has some body issues that he would like to have addressed. Can we please have a body scan? And as you scan his body, can you heal his body? Tell us if you find anything and what you are doing to heal it. Are you still
He's
doing?
always going to have issues with his back.
Okay. And how can he work with that?
He needs to start working out. Yoga.
And what are some recommendations that can help him get him on his feet and work out?
Yoga.
Yoga? Is there anything else that he needs to do?
Drink more water.
Drink more water. Okay. Any other kind of activities that he could do with his kids that also get him active and working out?
He needs to get his kids to do yoga.
Get his kids to do yoga too? Okay. What about nature trails and walks? Do they do that?
Yes.
Is that something that he should do with the kids too?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you scan his body, is there anything else that you notice besides his back?
Most issues are related to being dehydrated.
Okay. So most of his other issues are related to dehydration, and so he just needs to drink more water regularly.
Cut out the caffeine.
Cut out the caffeine. Okay. Is there anything else that he could do to help heal his body and keep it in best shape it can be?
He needs to move.
Needs to move more.
Walk, run, bike.
Overall, be more active.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any part of the body that you can heal for him? Can you heal his whole body?
Not the whole body.
What areas are you healing?
Psoriasis, scalp, in the beard, mustache area.
And what are you doing to heal it?
Slowing down the cells.
Are the cells overactive?
Yes.
And what are you doing to slow down the cells?
Changing the energetic frequency.
Okay. And is there any other areas of the body that you can heal for him today?
No.
Okay. We also would like to ask for some healings as well, because he has a list of people that he really wants to send some healing to as well as we can. Please do that. He would love you to send some healing energy to his son, so that they can get through the divorce and some of the tough situations that they've encountered. Can you send some healing energy to their son, to his sons?
Yes, he needs to do that as well.
Okay. And how can he do that?
Keep working on his meditation and breathing.
Meditation and breathing? Okay. Is that something that he can work on with his sons as well?
Most definitely.
Almost it. Okay. And then he also would love some additional healing sent to his soon-to-be ex-wife, Danielle. Are you sending her some healing as well?
Yes.
Okay. And he just wants her to be happy. Is there anything that you want to tell him about her?
You can't fix her.
You can't fix her. Okay. She has her own journey. Also, can you send some healing to his mother and his brother and dad?
Yes.
Thank you. And what are you doing to heal everyone?
Surrounding them with golden light.
Okay. And how are they taking it? How are the kids taking it, the golden light?
They like it when we do this.
You like it? And how is his ex-wife taking the golden light of healing?
She doesn't recognize it very much.
Okay. Is she resisting it or is she accepting it?
Accepts, but doesn't see it or feel it.
Okay. Well, we'll let her take it how she wants. And what about her parents and his brother? How are they taking the energy, the golden light?
His brother accepts it.
And his mom?
She's bathing in it.
Oh, okay, that's good. And then he also has some very close friends that he loves that he also would like to send some healing light to as well. Can you send some light to his friends?
Yes.
How are they taking it?
Very well.
Okay. While you're sending healing energy to all his loved ones and continuing to heal the parts of the body that you're working on, he has some questions for you. Can you answer some of these questions for us?
Yes.
Okay. The first question is, what about his mom and dad does he need to know? Because his mother remarried about 6 or 7 times, and he doesn't really have much relationship with his father. However, the childhood that he had with his parents, he has learned how to be defensive and protective and a little bit scared about reality and about life. Because he had to learn to take care of himself because his parents weren't really taking care of him as best as they can be. What do you have to tell him about that childhood?
His parents had their own stuff to deal with. They always loved him. His dad didn't know how to show it.
And what suggestions do you have for him in his current relationship with his parents now?
Keep reaching out.
So it's just gonna take some time. And in regards to his soon-to-be ex-wife, what do you want him to know about her struggles of her childhood?
It's what she came to Earth for.
And what kind of lessons does she have to learn from these hard experiences?
That she's powerful.
So it's her journey to overcome her struggles and and learn from them?
Yes.
Okay. And then with his son, how can he help his sons the best way that he can? Because his older son takes some, he kind of takes it hard with the divorce, and he's not dealing with it very well. How can he help his older son deal with the divorce and with some of the hard things that he's going through?
Needs to find a better way to do one-on-one time with them.
Okay. And what are some things that he can do?
Go on a hike. Get out of the house.
And when they do nature hikes and get out of the house and go bike riding and walking and doing yoga and meditation together, him and his sons, they will be able to talk about the things that they're working on or struggling with and help each other.
The bond will become more natural.
It will be natural. Okay. And then the other thing is with his friends, Cordy and Cora and Cameron and Neron and Dr. Vizard, he really wants to know if he's had any past lives with them. Are they part of his soul tribe? All of them? And what is this tribe? What's their mission? What is their common goal that they have in this life?
To shine bright so other people can see glimpses of what they're powerful of.
Okay. And what other lives have they had together besides the Earth lifetime?
It's the one where he was a basketball player and many others.
Okay. And with Dr. Joseph, his old counselor, what was he also part of his soul tribe?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you want to tell him about his relationship with Dr. Joe?
He was your mentor.
He's a mentor. Okay. The other thing is, he says that even though he's accepted and he has resolved any kind of issues that he has with his ex-wife, he does still feel anger and grief and worry and stress and fear for her. How can he let her go? What tips do you have for him?
Work on the breathing exercise and send her love so that she can deal with her own stuff.
And is there another love in the horizon for him, or is that it?
Yes, there's another.
There is another. And how far out is the next love? How much longer?
He needs to work on himself first.
Work on himself. So as he works on himself and he works on getting stable, eventually the next person will come into his life.
Yes.
Okay. Will that be a good relationship for him?
Yes.
Will it be a supportive and loving relationship?
They both grow together.
They both grow together. Okay. And then in terms of, he says that he picked his father because he showed him much work ethic, and that he picked his mother because as they moved a lot in his childhood, she showed him what he did not want to provide for his sons. So he chose to be stable and try to provide a stable environment for his sons. Is there anything else that he should know about why he picked his parents?
He picked his mom for her genetic line.
And what genetic line is that?
Energy-based healers.
Energy-based healers. And how does that come into play?
He does it already.
He does it. And how does he do it?
He sees things.
Okay.
People's energy fields.
And what does he do with it?
He's able to work with them.
Okay. And how does he work with them?
Vibrating love.
Vibrating love. Okay. And then, he says that he does not take enough time for himself, and he is not taking advantages of opportunities. What do you have to say to him about that?
You need to find time for yourself to recover. You can't just give.
Okay. And is that need to always try to make everybody happy coming from the childhood of being neglected? Is that where he learned that?
No.
What is the source of always wanting to make everybody happy?
He's a light worker.
A light worker. And what about people who take advantage of him and his kindness? What suggestions do you have for him about that?
Ground himself.
And how can he ground himself?
Meditation.
Meditation. Okay. Are you still healing his psoriasis and high blood pressure and his teeth?
And his hip.
And his hip. And what are you doing to his hip?
Realigning it.
Realigning it. And how are you realigning it?
Energy pulling the muscles.
Okay. Now, you can't do much with his back and his sciatic. Can you also heal his kidney stones?
As he takes better care of himself, he won't have them anymore.
Okay, so he needs to take care of himself. So you've healed most of his body, but you can't do much with his back?
Yeah, still always have issues on his low back.
He'll always have issues in his low back. What is the lesson for him about that?
A reminder to ground himself.
Okay, so it's a reminder to ground himself. Okay. Is it attached to any kind of past life trauma or event?
No.
No, it's just a reminder to ground yourself. Okay. The other thing is he gets bored easily and he changes his career path often. What recommendations do you have for that?
He needs to push through.
So he needs to stay focused and keep working on it?
Yeah, he's right. His CBD stuff is where he needs to be.
Okay, his CBD stuff is where he needs to be? Okay. Yeah, we want to talk about that a little bit later as well. Now, what lessons can he learn from his current career path that he can use to move forward?
He can really do it all. It's to believe in himself.
Okay. What is his purpose?
To help people.
Help people? So his career path is on working to help people. Is that where he finds most joy?
Yes.
Okay. Also, we have some other questions as well. He really wants to quit nicotine and vaping. Can you help him do that?
Yes.
Okay. What are the triggers that cause him who wants to smoke?
Anxiety.
Anxiety. So is meditation, grounding, and breathing exercise going to help him his quit smoking?
Yes.
Okay. And he wants to eat healthier. Is there specific foods or diet that he needs to focus on to eat healthier?
He needs to hydrate more.
Hydrate. So he just really dehydrated. And we already covered exercises. The other thing that he wants to know is, just out of curiosity, is the Earth flat?
No.
The Earth is not flat. And why do people think the Earth is flat?
Gullible.
So it's just gullible? So it's just an escape? It's just entertainment?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. So the Earth is round just like the energy field of people?
Yes.
Okay. and the sacred geometric shape of the earth, of people's energy field, of the earth's energy field, is all the same. It's all round. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And he was just curious, how many times have we been back on Earth?
More than you can count.
More than you can count. Okay. Now, what we want to do is to really talk about his career path, and really get some clarity on this, because this is what he's working on. So how could he get a license for his cannabis business? What area should he focus on? The CBD?
He needs to focus on CBD.
Just focus. So what about the plants that he's growing? What should he do with that?
Let them be for now, but eventually he won't have a garden.
Okay. And is that because CBD will prosper on its own business?
Yes.
And so it will replace the income from the plants?
It opens up many more opportunities for him.
Okay. So he should get the license for the CBD and focus on that.
Yes, he's on his way. Just needs to do it.
He just needs to do it. And he wants to find legitimate clients. He does not like working with shady business people. What recommendations do you have about that as he pursues the CBD route? How can he find legitimate clients and contracts?
They will come to him.
They will come to him.
They're already waiting for him.
They're waiting. And so when he gets all set up, should he reach out to them and continue to prospect for more clients?
No, word of mouth will take care of him.
Word of mouth will take care of him? Okay. And will he have enough repeat customers and business to be able to support himself and his family?
More than he knows.
More than he knows. So as he goes the CBD route and makes the edibles, is there anything else besides edibles in CBD that he needs to investigate and create?
Stuff for animals.
What kind of stuff for animals?
Just CBDs for animals.
Oh. He says that in his CBD work, he mostly focuses on creating different varieties of edibles. So he should make CBD edibles for animals?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of clients will he get for that? Is it
lots?
Lots more than the ones for people?
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to basically specialize in animal CBD edibles?
Yes.
And that's where most of his income is going to come from?
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to eventually move away from making edibles for humans and more make edibles for animals.
He needs to have both lines, but primary focus on animals.
Oh, okay. Both lines, but primarily focus on animals. Is there going to be a lot of pet stores across the country that will buy from him?
More vets.
More vets. Oh, vets. So he should reach out to vets. Okay. And right now you can only sell in Washington State edibles or CBD. Will it eventually open up to be allowed sales across different states?
Before anyone knows.
Before anyone knows it. So it will be.
It's coming.
It's coming. So nationwide cannabis sales and CBD sales will be open to everybody, and they can trade amongst each other without any kind of penalties.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, he will have a CBD pet line already established to go nationwide.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other areas that he needs to work on with pets and vets? Skincare. What about skincare can he expand to? Fleas. CBD to get rid of fleas?
Yes.
Fleas on what kind of animal?
Dogs. Cats.
Dogs and cats? Oh, okay. So he's going to be creating topical for flea removal on...
Deterrent.
As a flea deterrent on dogs and cats. And is this one of the lines that he will be creating to sell to vets?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else besides CBD edibles and topicals to get rid of or repel fleas that he can focus on?
With that dry skin,
Dry skin for humans?
humans and animals
For hum-
alike.
Okay, so he'll be creating topical dry skin for humans and animals. Is he going to try it on his own psoriasis? And
Yes.
okay. And what tips do you have for him in creating that line of products?
He already has all of the information. He needs to just go.
He just needs to go do it. That was one of the questions, if he should start his own business or continue to work for somebody else.
He doesn't need to work for anyone else.
He has enough experience and knowledge.
Yes.
And for any new experiences that he has yet to have come across, he will learn as he goes.
It's all laid out in the plan.
It's all laid out in the plan. Okay. He also wants to know, when it comes to working up contracts, should he have contracts set up with his clients?
Down the road, yes.
Down the road? So down the road, they're going to want a set amount from him every single time?
Yes.
Okay. So he will know how much income he's making each year ahead of time on a consistent basis.
Yes.
Okay, because he's running a legitimate business. And then, will he be working with any kind of manufacturers to provide for them his products?
He will have the ability to sell his information.
Okay, so he can sell his information on how to make it, like recipes.
Yes.
Okay. But he will. Okay, and then right now he can't get a license for farming cannabis. Is there anything else besides cannabis that he should work on?
No.
Okay, so just get a basic business license for CBD is what he needs to work on.
Yes.
Okay, and what other areas does he need to know to start his CBD edibles business?
He's going to need to bring help in for finances.
And how can he do that?
He needs to quit thinking that he can do it all.
Okay. So how can he work with other people instead of trying to micromanage, control every aspect of the business himself?
Have faith that it'll work.
Okay. And what recommendations do you have for him about not working with shady people? Because he's had experience of being burnt by shady people in his business.
Listen to your intuition.
Listen to intuition. Okay. The other thing is, he wants to know about the marketing aspect of it. Is there anything that he needs to know about marketing or kind of branding his product?
Simple, honest.
Simple and honest. All right. Thank you for answering all those questions. We're now going to ask to bring 3 people forward, one at a time. The first person that we're going to ask to bring forward that he would like us to connect with is Grandpa Dewey. Can we please talk to Grandpa Dewey?
Yes.
Hi, Grandpa Dewey. John wants to know how it's going.
Very well.
What are you doing these days?
Watching all of my kids and grandkids.
Do you like what you see?
Very much so.
Okay. Is there any information that you want to give John so that he can enjoy the rest of his life?
So to always be with them.
Is there any specific image or thing that John will see that will remind him of you?
Skating.
Skating. Do you want to tell John any last things before you receive? How do you feel about him?
Everything that I worked on is passed on to you.
Can you give him a big, big hug and send him lots of love?
I do all this.
Okay, good. Grandpa Julie, thank you for coming forward. You can now receive back, and we would like to bring forward Dr. Joseph. Dr. Joe Is that you?
Yes.
How's it going, Dr. Joe? How is it on the other side?
Very fun.
Very fine. What are you doing these days?
Laughing, enjoying every friend and everyone around.
Okay. And
Lots of good food.
lots of good food. What are you eating on the other side?
Chicken cacciatore.
Is chicken cacciatore better on the other side than it is in
I could never make it as good as it is over here.
everything's so much better?
Oh yeah.
Well, that sounds delicious. Now, John really loves you and he really misses you. And he wants you to know that he's sorry that he caused some heartache in you when you guys parted. Do you have anything to tell John?
There's no heartache. He was a young kid and he needed to go learn lessons on his own that I couldn't teach him.
Okay. Do you want to tell him anything as his old counselor? Do you want to tell him anything now so that he could take those words and move forward with his life better?
Keep on the metaphysical path.
And why should he keep on the metaphysical path?
It ties in with the CBD work.
Oh, it ties in with CBD. And how does it tie into CBD work?
Energy transfer.
Energy transfer. Are a lot of his clients in the CBD work metaphysical?
Yes.
Okay. So they're naturally going to gravitate to his work.
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of the clients that he will eventually sell and work with are a lot of them integrous. Incredibly integrous. So they want to honor a responsible person to work with.
Yes.
And legitimate. So they don't like working with the shady people in this industry?
Right.
Right. Will there still be shady people in this industry, or many of them will?
Always.
They will always.
He needs to listen to his intuition.
Listen to his intuition. Do you have any last parting messages that you want to give John?
Stay true to yourself.
Can you give him a big, big hug and send him lots of love?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. Okay, you can receive. And we're going to ask to bring forward one last person. Can we please bring forward John's ego?
Yes.
How John's ego, thank you for coming forward. What has it been like being his ego?
Trying.
Did you have a hard time trying? You did a frown when you said that.
He's strong-willed.
He's strong-willed? And what are you trying to do for him?
Get him to stop and listen.
Listen to who?
Me, his God.
Okay. And what do you want to tell him that he's not listening to?
It's not about everybody else.
Not about everybody else? Okay. And if he starts listening to you and working with you, what will you do?
Things will just come more natural.
To become natural? Do you feed him negative thoughts?
No.
No, you feed him positive thoughts?
Yes.
So what is all the negative thoughts and the lack of confidence? Where does it come from if it doesn't come from you?
Past life regression.
Past life regression? So he needs to let those things go.
Yes.
Well, you sound like a very healthy ego, but it doesn't sound like he's working with you very well.
No.
No? Okay. Well, John can't do this by himself. He needs you and you need him. You guys are a partnership. So this whole experience of this life, you guys work together on it. So when you work with him, just continue to feed him positivity. Continue to assure him. Because remember, he is you and you are him. And you guys really can't separate it. So the more that you work together and feed each other positivity and support, encouragement, work with your intuition, the more you guys are both going to have a wonderful life together. And the more, when this is over with, you're going to look back and really enjoy the partnership you have. Now, Eagle, just so you know, you see that really nice bright light? That nice, real bright light is the Oversoul. And it's what created you. Everything came from there. Source. And at any time you feel like it, you can always go back there and take a vacation. You don't always have to work. So you can always take a break, you can always take a vacation, and it's okay for Ego to lay back and step on the side sometimes. Okay? But when you do decide to work with John and his higher self, just be supportive and encouraging and tell him good wisdom. Can you do that?
Yes.
You're a really good Ego. I'm really proud of you, you know? We're all proud of you. Everybody's good Ego is a gift, and you are a gift to him. You can go ahead and receive. Now I'm going to ask the subconscious to receive to where it belongs, with much love and thanks for the help that is given. How do you feel?
Very light.
How long do you think you were under?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay, well no, it was like an hour and a half.